Hello everybody and welcome to the Relationship, Sex and Health Education Introduction webinar. In this webinar, I'm going to be sharing some information which can help you with your delivery, assessment and quality assurance of our RSHE qualifications. I'll be sharing some further contact details at the end of the session, so if you do have any questions about any of the topics or products I cover today, please feel free to just get in touch. Firstly though, some introductions to put a voice to a face. My name is Kelly Johnson and I'm a Provider Development Officer here at NCFE. My role is to support centres through the planning, onboarding and further CP opportunities for our NCFE qualifications, with a focus on promoting and advancing learning. As I mentioned, today's session is focused on RSHE and we'll be looking at a number of key themes. I'll start with the government guidance on statutory RSHE and the journey we have been on to get where we are now. I'll touch on some of the challenges facing schools following the publication of the guidance. I'll then take a more in-depth look at our qualifications in RSHE, which can help you to structure your provision and help you to hit those key Ofsted markers. I'll talk you through how they map to the government guidance, as well as addressing our qualifications and the quality assurance process. I'll also show you the available resources and teaching materials, as well as our parent guide. And lastly, how our RSHE qualifications can support SEND learners and explain why RSHE works with SEND learners from Meadowcroft School in Wakefield. Before I begin though, please just pause for a moment and ask yourself how confident you are currently feeling with the delivery assessment and quality assurance of our RSHE qualification or qualifications. 1 being little to no confidence and 10 being very confident. I will revisit this poll at the end of the session, as I would hope that by the end of this webinar you are feeling more knowledgeable and confident about the delivery, assessment and quality assurance of the RSHE qualifications. So let's have a look at RSHE and the statutory guidance from the government. When the government published the new guidance in 2019, it was hailed as a historic shake-up to the RSE provision, as the previous guidance had remained relatively untouched for 19 years. Think about how much the world has changed in 19 years. We've all now got mobile phones, social media, access to the internet at our fingertips, and these all pose very different challenges to young people, so we were well overdue a shake-up in this area. By the standards of the old guidance, pupils would be at risk of leaving school feeling unprepared for many challenges of modern life, and many of the key topics affecting this generation of young people would have been overlooked. For example, the Sex Education Forum conducted a survey of young people back in 2018, and they found that the most neglected topics in RSHE were pornography, FGM, which is female genital mutilation, and sexual pleasure. In addition of this, they found that 46% of respondents said that they didn't feel that they had learned enough in anything in some cases about LGBT plus issues at school, and that was only 2 years ago. So, like I said, the 2019 guidance was an absolute milestone moment for the sector and a huge step in the right direction for the adequate provision of RSHE. And it's really going to put schools under the microscope a little bit now. The guidance stipulates that all schools must have a written policy in place for relationships and sex education. And this must include a definition, subject content, scheme of work, how it will be monitored and evaluated, and how the content is accessible for all pupils, including SEND learners. So there is a lot to do. Now, I just wanted to highlight a few snippets from the guidance that the Department for Education are looking for. They're looking for high quality, evidence-based, age-appropriate teaching. They want a sequence programme of learning which will cover the key building blocks of healthy, respectful relationships both on and offline. They're also expecting mental health to be a central theme of RSHE to help foster well-being and resilience amongst young people. So there's a lot in there. And while the guidance clearly states these topics which should be taught, it doesn't offer a standardised delivery framework, which leaves schools responsible for planning lessons, sourcing materials and remaining informed about the RSHE subject matter. So our aim today is to help you feel as prepared as possible so that you're ready and informed about delivering RSHE in your school. I'd now like to tell you about our suite of RSHE qualifications for Year 7 right the way through to Year 11 pupils, which were developed in collaboration with Jan Lever at Jigsaw, the Sex Education Forum and CASH. CASH is part of the NCFE family and is the leading sector specialist in care, health and education. So we've got a real super group of RSHE specialists. To get you started, there is a short video on our YouTube channel and the link is on the screen. So we at NCFE CASH really wanted to help schools to meet all of the government regulations with our RSHE qualifications, which were literally mapped to 100% of the government guidance. We really wanted to develop something that gives schools that bulletproof product, the gold standard of RSHE provision. We know that Ofsted inspectors will be considering the RSHE as part of a wider judgment of pupils' personal development. So, as well as these qualifications giving you that much needed structure in your delivery of RSHE, they're also going to enable you to capture the progress of your learners in this subject area and ultimately help you to demonstrate those 3 I's for the Ofsted inspections. The final benefit, I think, of running these qualifications is that you're able to give your learners valuable recognition of their achievement in RSHE. And this is especially pertinent for SEND learners or those in alternative provision, as they will gain a qualification at the end of their programme of RSHE study. And while there are no external examinations required, it's all portfolio based, which is internally assessed and externally quality assured. Your learners can achieve a qualification in this area at the end of their programme. The workbooks and resources from Jigsaw are also a fantastic tool for documenting some of the evidence to demonstrate a pupil's understanding of the key learning objectives to contribute towards the portfolio. Our RSHE qualifications are extremely flexible. The suite of qualifications are available in 3 sizes suitable for different year groups as well as individual units, so schools can choose the best provision that suits them and their learners, with high quality classroom ready resources available from Jigsaw to support delivery. So just to give you a quick breakdown of the qualification structure, and these are really flexible in the way that you can deliver them, as we really wanted to give you as many options as possible. The qualification is broken down into 5 individual units, and those are designed for each of the secondary school year groups, so running from Year 7 all the way through to Year 11. This breakdown also directly matches the Jigsaw resources. So you can register pupils unit by unit if you wish, and they will get a unit certificate at the end of each year. Or we do recommend that you register them on either of the 2 awards. So the Level 1 award covers Year 7 and Year 8 content, and the Level 2 award covers your Year 9, Year 10 and Year 11 content. This allows them to gain an award in either Year 8 or Year 11 at the end of that programme. Alternatively, you could also register them onto a full Level 2 certificate and have them gain a full certificate at the end of Year 11 once they've completed all of the 5 units required. Running the RSHE as a qualification is really easy to do, especially if you're already delivering the RSHE content through Jigsaw as you're halfway there. You can find out more about the pricing of these qualifications and the process for becoming an NCFE centre on our website, which you can find details at the end of this presentation. In relation to assessment, from Year 7 to Year 10, it is 36 guided learning hours for each of the units, and in Year 11, it is 24 guided learning hours for the remaining unit. This enables you to free up time for revision and other GCSE priorities. As I've already mentioned, there are no external examinations required. It's all portfolio-based evidence, which is assessed and internally quality assured by centre staff, and then externally quality assured by NCFE. We provide pupil workbooks, which are available on our website and will help you to build your pupils' portfolio of evidence and demonstrate their understanding of the key learning objectives. The workbook can be altered to meet your specific needs, or you can create your own portfolio and/or assessment methods. If you do create your own assessment methods, though, you should check with your external quality assurer if it is acceptable. Visit qualhub.co.uk and this is where you can search for all our RSHE qualifications. On Qualhub, on the qualification specification page, you will find more detailed information about the qualification, including a high-level overview of the qualification, the guided learning hours, and the total qualification time. You can also shortlist the qualification for approval here. It also includes the specification, a support handbook, the mapping document, and a fact sheet, and the RSHE guide for parents. Furthermore, in the teaching materials section, you will also find the scheme of work and the workbooks for all the units, which are free to download, but you will need a portal login to access them, and it's usually your exams officer that can help you with this. There is also the external link for the Jigsaw website included here. This mapping document was designed to provide reassurance that everything is absolutely covered and the content is very much lifted from the government criteria. The mapping document covers all aspects of the qualification included within RSE: families, respectful relationships, online and media, being safe, and intimate sexual relationships. And then in physical health and mental well-being, it covers mental well-being, internet safety, physical health and safety, healthy eating, drugs, alcohol and tobacco, health and prevention, and the changing adolescent body. You can also see here the parts of the content that are covered in each of the units. With the NCFE qualifications, you will receive free schemes of work and workbooks to aid your delivery and assessment. The schemes of work for each unit are free to download in the Teaching Materials tab on Qualhub, as I've already mentioned, and they can be used alongside Jigsaw resources to plan your delivery. On top of that, as an NCFE centre, you'll also have access to our in-house curriculum team, who are there to support you with any questions that you have around delivering our qualifications and access to all of our CPD events through the year. As mentioned on the previous slide, we also have workbooks that are available for learners to use to populate with evidence. The workbooks can be altered to meet the specific needs of your learners, or you can create your own portfolio or assessment methods. However, as I've said, if you do create your own assessment methods, please do check these with your external quality assurer to see if they are acceptable. As I'm sure you're aware by now, we do also endorse Jigsaw and their resources. And if you really want to enhance your delivery of the RSHE qualifications, Jigsaw have created everything you need. You'll be able to access the full suite of resources from Year 7 to Year 11. So that's 168 lesson plans, each 1 hour long, 168 PowerPoint presentations to cover each lesson, a workbook for each group. So literally everything you need to deliver these qualifications. Alongside the lesson plans and PowerPoints, Jigsaw also offer year group workbooks, which can be completed to capture learner evidence and use towards your portfolio to achieve the qualification. Just as a footnote, either NCFE or Jigsaw workbooks can be used. It's entirely up to you, and it's whichever you prefer. There is a guide for parents that is available on our website in the Technical Education Schools 14 to 16 page for RSHE, and the link is provided on this slide. This guide can be used by parents so they have an understanding of why RSHE is now a mandatory part of the curriculum, as well as the content of the qualification and the participation and the rights as a parent. It also has some brief information in relation to our qualifications, learning and assessment. Parents should approach the school and they will be signposted to the appropriate staff to discuss this further if needed. In addition, parents can access the statutory guidance directly on the government website. Again, the link is on this slide. And lastly, to find out more about our RSHE qualifications, you can contact us directly at rshe@cash.org.uk. SEND learners may be more vulnerable to specific challenges, which RSHE can help to address. Meadowcroft School in Wakefield works specifically with SEND learners and is using our RSHE qualifications to ensure its young learners can build happy and healthy lives inside and outside of the classroom. This school works with SEND pupils and those who have complex or additional learning needs. many who have previously struggled in mainstream formal education. The school spends time getting to know each individual learner so that they can help them to overcome barriers that prevent them from engaging in education. Natalie O'Donnell, a teacher from this school, has explained that they know each child well enough to be able to set ambitious, realistic targets and put in place a structure of support to ensure that they achieve them. She goes on to say that success looks very, very different for each child, so that they take time to build personal plans and celebrate the progress they make. She says it has been very straightforward to deliver these qualifications, and that the scheme of work helps with planning and the workbooks provide assessment data. The Jigsaw scheme of work, she says, matches the qualification criteria and provides PowerPoint presentations, videos and worksheets to supplement the lessons that have been planned by the teachers. And that she would highly recommend these qualifications as pupils gain important knowledge to equip them for life, and all the statutory government guidance is covered, and the pupils gain a nationally recognised certificate. As we reach the end of this presentation, to summarise, offering RSHE qualifications will help with the structure of your RSHE provision, as it will ensure that you are meeting the Department for Education requirements in this area. You'll also remember how important it is not only to ensure that you're delivering a great programme for your pupils, but that you're also ensuring that your pupils have remembered what you have taught them. These provide a great evidence base as you can show learner understanding through the achievement of these qualifications. They also give pupils a valuable recognition of achievement. And finally, there are free resources included with the qualifications from NCFE and the enhanced resources available from Jigsaw that will help support great delivery and assessment. For more information, or if you have any questions about anything you've heard from myself today, you can visit either the NCFE website or our Qual Hub website. And also please do visit Jigsaw's website for more information on their wonderful resources. As we have now reached the end of the webinar, I'd like to now revisit the poll that we touched upon at the beginning of this webinar and ask you to consider how confident you're feeling now with the delivery assessment and quality assurance for the RSHE qualifications. And as with the first poll, 1 is little to no confidence and 10 is very confident. I would hope that from the content of this webinar, you now feel that your confidence levels have improved and that you're now feeling more knowledgeable and self-assured about these qualifications. Lastly, although you may feel that your levels of confidence have improved, you still may have some further questions or require further support. With that in mind, on this slide here is further support links and information. So if you would like to gain approval to deliver NCFE qualifications or add RSHE as an additional qualification, you can contact your account manager or email the business development team. If you have any questions about the portal, registering learners, and so on, you can contact our customer service team. And lastly, if you require one-to-one support with delivering assessment, or you are interested in our CPD events, please feel free to contact me directly, or if I'm unavailable, then please email the provider development team using the details provided on the screen. Alternatively, you can contact Jigsaw directly and their details can be found on their website. Thanks for listening. I hope you found it useful. And finally, on behalf of everyone here at NCFE, we wish you a continued safe and successful year.